great to be back for football here. Really looking forward to the start of camp. I love training camp. I love what it brings. I love what it means. We have a chance to really take a step forward from what I felt was a really productive offseason, and now we have a chance to go put some pads on and play football and see how much better our team can get between now and our opening game. We got a lot of great work ahead of us versus each other, and then with a chance to go practice against two other teams here coming up pretty quickly, and then the preseason games as well. So a lot of work ahead, things I'm really looking forward to. Want to make sure our team comes out of this training camp with the identity that we're looking for, which is we're looking for a really smart, tough, high executing ability team that doesn't beat itself. And those are what we're after sort of every day we come out here, and looking forward to getting started. With that, go ahead.
How will you measure success for Cam Ward through this training camp?
For the quarterback position in general, it's a growth every day, especially for a young player. There's a lot of things that I thought he handled really, really well in the spring, and it's carrying over those things you've learned and applying them in a little bit more intense setting. And now we get a chance to actually go play a little football, play against some different schemes. His development's is a daily process, and there's going to be things that we got to correct every day, and there's going to be things that he's going to do really well every day we're going to try to continue those things. So every single day, I think, is going to be opportunity for development for him, and I'm looking forward to it.
How much is timing at the center of this passing game, and how much are his feet at the center of that time?
The feet are really everything when it comes to your timing in the offense. Everything is tied to, is it a 3-step drop? Is it a 5-step drop? Is it an under center play action 7-step drop? Are you taking 1 hitch, 2 hitches? What is the route depth? What are the receiver steps? So all of that stuff works together. And the way I've learned offensive football from a lot of really good coaches is that the success of the passing game depends on the timing and discipline of the receivers and the quarterback, and that's ultimately what we're trying to get done. Cam's got great feet. He understands it, and now it's just repping that over and over again to where it becomes second nature.
Where are you at this stage with that, considering all the newcomers?
I feel really good about where we came out of the spring. I think at the end of the spring, he was starting to really understand and feel what it felt, what that timing felt like, and this is going to be a huge point of emphasis in this early part of camp to get as comfortable with it as possible, as quickly as we can, and I think he's up to that task.
Real out equation, how does that change what you were going to do with reps? How do you handle reps with Cam and the quarterbacks?
Cam will take a majority of the one's reps, obviously. That's going to be a huge part of his development over the course of the camp, and those other guys will fill in those other spots, the 2s and 3 reps that are coming up. I've generally really carried 3 quarterbacks a lot of years in camps, and for that reason. So there's more reps to go around for the guys that you're trying to pour into, and those guys that we're trying to pour into.
Carter's retirement came as a bit of a surprise to you guys. How does that impact the competition with the edge group?
Yeah, I mean, certainly anytime a guy decides to hang him up comes as a surprise, especially you get to right before training camp. It happens. It happens around the league. We're not, the only ones that have it happen to us, but you lose a player that you put some time and effort into developing and being a part of the system. So we're gonna have to fill that with the guys that we have here, and we have some young players that have played some for us, and Jalen Harrell and Ali Gay, who hopefully can take another step for us. And then again, you're still always looking to improve your team where you can. So those reps are gonna go to the guys that are here, and we'll keep trying to push those guys forward.
Brandon Allen's numbers. Not necessarily a lot of highlights there, but you know him better than anyone. What do you like about him? What do you value about him that you want him to?
Yeah, I spent a lot of years with Brandon. He's been in the league for, I think, 10 years now, so he's kind of seen all of what it means to be a quarterback in this league, good and bad. He's got a great feel for the system, for how to operate. He understands the role of the backup quarterback. He's got a lot of experience he can share with Cam as well, from all the places he's been and things he's done and seen. He also knows how to play quarterback. He knows how to do it. He can help manage the offense, operate it when he steps in there. So a lot of things that I like about Brandon. I'm very familiar with his game and what he does well, and he had a pretty good spring too, so we'll see how he looks in training camp.
Once Levis has the surgery, do you want him back here participating in meetings and rehabbing here, or will he do that on his own?
As of right now, he'll be out in California for a little while, and when and where after that process comes back, we'll see.
Can you talk much about what to expect from him, or you kind of just with Will? Have you talked much with him about what to expect when he gets back, or are you kind of just letting him figure that out?
We'll address that when it comes. He's going out there to get surgery. He'll be out there for a little bit, rehabbing post-op, and then we'll kind of take it from there. You know, there's no real concrete plan at this point.
Can you put him on IR right away and get the roster spot, or do you have to wait for the?
It's probably a better question for Mike. I think we can put him on IR even if he hadn't had the surgery yet. I think, but don't hold me to that.
Jeffery
I'll
Simmons.
come right back to him. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Brian, in the spring you were talking about how you didn't necessarily want Cam to try to be a leader, just to try to get a feel for the day-to-day, what he has to do in the huddle, everything. At this point, as you guys get closer to the season, is that something you maybe want him to maybe make a concerted effort to grow more into?
Yeah, I think I get what you're asking as far as the encouragement to lead. I believe that Cam's got a very natural ability about him, just his personality, and I think I just, for the most part, would like him just to focus on playing good football and being himself, and I think that's going to be enough for him. He's got natural leadership qualities. They'll come out the more he's involved, the more he has success. So that'll happen naturally, I think. So I don't want to force him to do anything that's not organic to him, and I think he'll do a really good job with that.
When it comes to Jeffery Simmons, how important is it for him to kind of set the tone as leader of the entire team these first couple days of training camp?
Yeah, I don't ever worry about Jeff setting the tone. That's sort of his MO. But yeah, he's a huge piece of our defensive front. He's a huge part of our football team, and him playing well usually leads to really good things for our defense. And I'm excited to see where Jeff's at. He put a lot of work in this offseason. He's in phenomenal shape. Excited to see him put some pads on and be the Jeff that I think everyone here knows and loves.
With Snead being on PUP, like what is the plan? I know apparently he's week to week, but what is your plan for him to work his way back?
Yeah, I mean, it's hopefully sooner than later he'll be out here, you know, and he hasn't practiced a lot as of late, and so it's just we're going to have to get him back, get his legs back under him, get him back in shape, in football shape, that is, you know, playing football. And so that's a process that'll start hopefully sooner than later, and we can get him back on the practice field, practicing and communicating with his teammates.
With him not taking part in OTAs and minicamp, Mike yesterday, Fugazi, he said the procedure was done on his knee. Was there any reason it was done in May? Was there any reason why you didn't disclose that?
Because it was the off season, to be honest. It's not trying to hide anything, but you know those things come up, and then you just see where they get to by the time we get to here, and it was pertinent to let you guys know that at this point.
And that's what kept him out of OTAs and minicamp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is that actually a reasonable expectation for a guy to go from 10 months of not really practicing at all to the #1 cornerback on a team in the next 6 weeks?
It's a challenge, certainly. Anytime guys miss time like that, there's a challenge to get them up to speed and get going. They got to get their feet under them. They got to get in shape. And when I say get in shape, I mean like playing football shape. That's different than just being in condition. So yeah, it's a challenge. I think he's up to it, and we got to get him to that point. It's going to takes time, just like anything does, but I think he'll be ready to roll.
The idea Dan Moore's likely to be looked at kind of as a big symbol for this franchise, this regime. Biggest ticket item, most expensive guy, position that's been a big problem. Do you think that's somewhat fair, and do you think he's up for it?
Oh, I think he's up to the challenge, certainly. Is it fair or not? It doesn't really matter. I don't think that matters. I think he's going to play good football for us. He had a really good spring. And again, this is when we find out about our offensive line in general. Pads and going against a couple different teams and playing in some preseason games. We'll find out a lot. Like where we're at, like where Dan's at. Whatever his lens he gets viewed at through, I think he's going to do everything he possibly can to play well for us and hopefully change whatever narrative that may be here before he gets here.
Left tackle was a problem before you got here. It was a problem last year. It's time to be fixed, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we got to play better up front. Our tackle play needs to be at a level that can help us score more points and win more football games. And last year it wasn't good enough. And adding Dan and moving JC to the right is hopefully a remedy that'll get us to some pretty good football play from our front. So certainly an area that we attacked and tried to improve and feel good about where we're at.
See Kevin Winston out there, and do you just throw him right back in the mix, or is he kind of in a little bit of a return to practice, return to play type situation?
Yeah, he'll be monitored, I guess is the best way to put it, because you are coming off, he's coming off and not practicing for a while. But he's cleared. He's full go. He's got a little bit of work to do on the field, catching up wise. Mentally, he's incredibly sharp. So that part I don't have any concern. It's just getting out there and doing it, and he'll have plenty of opportunity. We'll be smart, obviously, with how much we give him and how quickly. But yeah, he should be out there as a full participant and ready to play football.
Will give you guys the news, Brian? When did Will give you guys the news that he was going to choose surgery? Was it just days ago?
It was just in line with the same thing. I think Mike addressed it yesterday, but at the end of the day, it was a rest and rehab and participate. And there was the option was out there at some point that if he didn't feel exactly how he wanted to feel, that was something that could be done. And so that's really the timeline of how it happened. I mean, it was anything.
So was it surprising there was that lag time between mini camp and I guess the time that it was announced?
No. I think he was reevaluating after the spring and trying to figure out how he felt and what the best option was for him, and made that decision to do it. So timeline-wise, no, it wasn't. We knew that there was a possibility, and he was exploring his options after the totality of off-season work.
Brian, you were really transparent about the changes you made to the off-season program. Are there any big changes you plan for training camp number 2, and what specifically do you want to see from your team?
No, I do. The one thing that's probably the biggest difference is we're going to go on the road for about 2 weeks. That's a pretty significant change in routine for us, but I think it's all by design. These days, training camp doesn't quite always feel like the old training camps used to, and that's where you build your team in training camp. That's why I'm so excited to get going. This is how you find out what you have, and the time that we can spend together. The days of being here till 10, 11 o'clock at night and staying in a dorm and going away for camp, it's just different these days. The new rules make it different. So an opportunity to go take our team on the road for some time and be together, have some fun together, practice against some other teams. That's probably the biggest change, is just that idea that we're going to go on the road together for a little bit, play a little bit of football against some different teams, and use that to help connect our team even further. And then there's a little adversity involved in it. We're not at home. It's not comfortable. We're traveling a little bit. We're going to and from different places. How we handle that and how we come through that, I think, is going to be an important part of our development as a football team. So really looking forward to that process. But I think that's, as far as change goes, that would probably be the biggest one.
Chad talked yesterday about how he's actually seen your development and growth as a head coach. How would you say that you have grown into the role after a year into it?
I'm much more comfortable in the day-to-day, much more comfortable being in a position in front of our football team. As far as the leadership roles go, the accountability goes, those things have all become much more comfortable for me, which is good. There's still things that I strive every day to be better at. And then just managing the role. There's just a lot that goes into it, from an operations standpoint, from a scheduling standpoint, from a staff management to the players to the scheme part. All of those things I've feel like I've improved tremendously in a lot of areas. And I'm really, really looking forward to getting year 2 underway. And I think my excitement and my enthusiasm for where we're at and our potential to be a good football team is really high. And a lot of that comes from, I think, my own confidence in the role as it is. So that's a short answer to probably what could be a lot longer. But I feel really good about where I've developed too, just like our players probably do in their first year to their second year.
You talked a little bit about Lorenzo Carter's decision to retire. How does that kind of affect the pecking order there at that position now in camp?
Probably not a whole lot. You still have Dre, and you have Arden, and you have Femi, and you got Jalen and Ali, those guys, and Titus. That shouldn't affect the pecking order too much. I mean, Zoe was going to be in that rotation with those outside linebackers. So maybe Femi gets a little more work, and Jalen and Ali get a little bit more reps, but it shouldn't affect it too dramatically.
Mike and Chad mentioned yesterday just about the training and some of the weight loss programs that have gone on in the off season. How easy does that make your job, or easier when some of these guys are coming in different shape and kind of a whole new look?
Yeah, especially the young players. You see their post-draft, they're traveling a lot. They're not working out the same. Their training suffers. They come in, they're probably, not 5-6 pounds overweight, but that makes a huge difference in their performance on the field. And they were all challenged to come back with all all of our information we give them, and then between Lauren and the nutrition space and Zach and all those guys, there was a very comprehensive program for a lot of those young players, and they came back and did exactly what we asked of them, which was outstanding to see. Having that sort of attention to detail gives me a lot of confidence where our team's at mentally, guys that want to do their job at a really high level. But those programs, I would encourage you guys to look into it more, but just how we deal with the lean body mass, our player development program, those are all things that I'm really, really looking forward to seeing their growth as well and what they look like for our football team. I think they're going to be a huge benefit for us.
Anybody who won't be out there?
Just the guys on pup.
Everybody past condition?
Yeah. Yep. Right. We're ready to roll.
I feel great, man. I think everybody been waiting on this moment. OTAs and minicamp were what it was, but I've been saying it all day. Football is officially back. It felt great to be back on the field, moving around with everybody. I'm sure y'all saw what we started out with on the defensive side. Them down 40 up downs, but that just the mentality, from what I saw from the guys, like that's what we want on this defense, the mentality. We got to bring that mentality back, no matter who we're playing against, no matter who we line up against. Right now, it's all own teammates, but you got to have that mentality that we're going to do it anyway. Put your head down and go to work, and that's what I saw with them up downs. And, in transition to go against the offense, that was great. Got to clean some stuff up, but for the first day, man, like the energy, the excitement from guys when you walk into the building yesterday, today, is there. And, we know what is well last year and don't want to really talk about last year, but, we know what it was and we know how it felt. The way we came in today was what we need as a team going forward. So it felt great to be back.
A lot of open practices in front of fans over the last few years. How good was that to you?
It's exciting, man. I'm excited to go over there and just sign a couple autographs and speak to some of our fans. I know they've been waiting on us to get back. They've been waiting on us to get back to winning football games as well. And it started today. It started back in April, but right now it's the real thing where they be able to witness it. Our fans, we know how things get, when the ups and downs happen. No one liked the downs, but at the end of the day, when you have fans who committed, they out here at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning just to support us and see what we look like. It's our job to go out there and perform. And like I say, it's always great to have our fans. Even this coming up weekend, got the big one. Of course, we don't have that much space to have everyone here, but to be able to go into the stadium to see more fans, I'm excited about that. I'm excited to let our fans see what we've been working towards and for since April. So,
20 pounds less feel like out there, and can you talk about how that conditioning program seems like it's been a team-wide thing? We've heard a lot of guys, less body fat, that kind of thing. Has that been a priority during the offseason?
Most definitely, man. I think when you play in this game, and for me, I'm going on year 7, and I have mentors like my uncle who played 10 years, and you talk about the longevity of your career, you talk about injury-free. I think that's where it starts at, taking care of your body. Me being heavy wasn't healthy, no matter if it's just an elbow or whatever it may be. Inflammation, I end up hiring a nutritionist, do blood work, and you find out you have so much inflammation in your body. It's like, where is this coming from? So when I cleaned up my diet, I cleaned up everything, and just more healthy. I think that's what really took place. And, the training going to take care of itself. I've been playing football since I was 5, so just to be able to do that at a healthier me, I think that's what really feel great. And you got guys like JC who, wasn't proud of his rookie year. You hear him talking about it, and, he's talking about him cutting weight and see him out there moving so much better. I think that was God's priority to make sure they come into this season. Like I said, no one wants that feeling of last year. So when you got guys committed to doing the small things, like taking care of their body, like after today, it was hot as hell. It's first day, up, downs, first day going against each other in 5 weeks. Go take care of your body. Put the right things in your body, and I think that's going to be the most important thing, because a connected team, a team who stay healthy, that's a team who win championships.
Do the up downs. When did you find out you were going to do them, and how was that?
We knew about that since before we left for minicamp. That's the Nord thing. He big on mentality. He big on doing it together. We did that together. Guys fought through it, but yeah, it was the Nord idea. Last year he told us 40, we did 20. This year it was a real deal. He told us 40. I got the 20. I'm like, all right, we got 20. then he said something, I'm like, oh, we still going. So it's the mentality of just fighting through it, the tiredness of your legs getting heavy and pushing up off the ground. But that just shows, like I said, the mentality of guys, that's a step ahead. It wasn't a lot of being and moaning. It was a lot of, let's get this done and let's get on with all day.
When's the last time you've done 40 up down?
I haven't done, like I said, the last time I ever did an up down was a couple weeks ago in minicamp, but I haven't did an up down since high school. So it's been a while. I don't even think I ever did 40 straight, but that was challenging.
With the weight loss, how much do you feel that will allow you to play up and down the line of scrimmage?
I think at the end of the day, it's all about trying to create matchups. Because I was around 315, sometimes 320 last year, and I was able to get on the edge and be able to try to get some type of matchup like against the Bengals and teams of that nature that I got on the edge last year. I think at the end of the day, it's me and Denard have to meet Denard Rock and this coaching staff. We're going to continue to talk throughout training camp, and it's a game plan thing. When we're playing against a heavy run team, no sense to me being out there. But when I'm able to find different matchups and you got a tackle who I know I could take advantage of, I think that's when you start talking to Denard and you talking to Rock like, Coach, let me get a rep out here or whatever it may be. But right now I'm kind of just we got guys for that, being on the edge. But I'm always one of them guys that want to be versatile, want to be able to play up and down the line. But I'm all about how can I help this team. If I'm inside or whatever it may be, and I know I'm gonna get the slide, then them guys on the outside need to go win. And that's what we talking about. We just talked about that right there in the group. Like, we have to win our one-on-ones. You got a one-on-one, there's no exception. Everybody got to win. So.
When you walk inside, with that large weight, is there any focus on maintaining the strength? Like, how much focus be able to still anchor?
No, I'm not. I don't think I lost strength. I was even I came back a little lighter than I wanted to early on this minicamp, but my goal this last couple of weeks was to put body mass on, muscle mass. So I think that's what I did. So it's not even about the strength for me. I know I'm a strong person, strong man, I would say. And when I'm out there, even then doing minicamp, I was 297. I'm in there holding on to double team against Peter and. Then you go on the other side, you got JC, he 350. Like, you're going against a guy like that. Like, that's how you test your strength. And I didn't feel like I lost any of it. So, and right now I just feel like I'm better, I'm stronger than I was in minicamp. So.
The front office guys and the coaches keep saying to us is you are what you emphasize. Just how much are you guys hearing that? How is the emphasis different this year than maybe what it has been past years?
When you express things and you talk about it, no matter if it's leadership, no matter if it's your play, you have to come out there and prove it. And I think when we emphasize want to win, when we emphasize technique, we emphasize all the small details, and you put it on the field, that's what win games. We emphasize a connected team, a team that's together. That's the only way we're going to win football games. And I think that's been the emphasis. The biggest word that I've been getting out of all this is unity and together. A connected team, and when we connected, who knows how far we get. And when you see teams who win Super Bowls and championships, them teams is connected. And you just talk to guys around the league that I didn't talk to, like in won multiple Super Bowls, like Chris Jones and them guys. They talk about how close their team and their defense and things of that nature. So I think that's the biggest thing for us. How much more can we get connected, not just in the building, but outside of the building?
Do you have talking points here, or is it just kind of being discussed in a different way?
Nah, I wouldn't say new, because we always been talking about being together and doing things together. I think right now we just have to put it more in action, because we know when you put it more in action, you get better outcome.
Jeff, with Will Levis being out with the shoulder surgery, Cam's going to be getting a majority of the ones. How much do you think he'll be able to benefit from that, and does it maybe excite you?
Yeah, I don't know too much about Will's situation, and that's my teammate. He's still on his team and still my teammate. Whatever it may be, I wish him the best. Having surgery, so that's never a good thing. For a player himself, I've been through all of that, so it sucks. At the end of the day, the guys, we drafted Cam here. Cam know that we have high expectations for him. He come in ready to work. I'm not gonna be here at 5 a.m. like Cam, but he's here very early. He want to be great. We talking in the locker room, talking about the reps, and he excited for it. And I think at the end of the day, we have a young quarterback who need the reps and want the reps. That's what it's about, and I'm excited to compete against him. You know, I was messing with him today. He was a little quiet today, but he was locked in, trying to get the first day jitters out. And I know how it is as a rookie training camp. But it's exciting for him. I'm excited for him. It's our job, especially as guys who've been around in this league for a long time, to keep motivating him and pushing him to be the best he could be. So, and that's my job, and that's what I'm going to continue to do with Cam, and I'm going to push him to be the best he could be.
The other day, Roger said that this year is personal for those of you guys that are been on this team for a while. What about this year feels personal to you guys?
I would say it's shit. I mean, it's football. You know, everything. When you step on that field, everything should be personal. I think at the end of the day, I played 6 seasons, and my first 3 years I made the playoff. Not making the playoff sucks. So that should be personal. You know, we should come in, and our main focus right now is being better. But when that season starts, the first goal is win the division, and we have to make sure we're taking care of our division to be able to make the playoff and go to the big dance. So I think every time you step on the field is personal. Every morning I wake up is personal for me. Like, I want to be better than I was yesterday, and not personal against nobody on my team or in the league. It's for me. I think that's probably what, I'm not speaking for him, but that's kind of how I would look at it. Personal for guys who maybe got some contract year or whatever it may be. So, I think you may need to ask him that on what he mean when he say personal, but for me, every day I wake up, I try to treat things as personal and attack every day.
Everything evolves around timing, in my opinion. No matter what the coverage is defensively, in my mind, I just think timing and ball placement will always be anything. But that's just something that, we banked reps in, just in the course of OTAs and minicamp and over the summer to now.
How was it today?
It was real good, especially just in our quick game, just getting guys the ball, letting them make plays, after the catch.
What was it like, count the days for this to get going, and how excited to be back out here the first day?
Oh, real excited, especially transition from one level to the next level. Just excited to, get a new atmosphere around new teammates, new coaching staff. Then finally, be able to put the pass on again next week, and then just doing things full speed like we were in minicamp.
How would you scoreboard out there when you know wins or losses? How do you measure progress here during training camp?
Everything is always measured off a win or a loss. Practice is 80 plays a day. That's a whole game. We were mid in practice today offensively, but it's first day. You get better every day. We just gotta try and just repeat, and not stay the same. Just try to get better.
Obviously, you've been back for a couple of days, and I know you've been working out with guys in the off season. How much did that help make today a bit more seamless?
Real good, just from an understanding of how they're going to run their routes, to them understanding, my ball placement where it needs to be, allow them to make plays up the field. But we got a talented group of receivers, tight ends as well, and running backs who can, make plays in the check down game and in the run game. So, just the pieces that we have, I think we're one of the top, we're capable of being one of the top offenses in the league.
Cam, as you continue to make that transition, like, what can you do to get used to the spacing on the field, like with the hash marks and all of that type of stuff?
Throw the ball on time. As soon as I hitch in the pocket, first one, ball's got to be out, then check it down when I need to.
Is that something that you and Carter and Callahan and Olsen, you guys, is that a focus for you? Just getting used to the spacing and everything?
It's not really the spacing. Football field is still 52 yards width, 110 yards down. So it's not the spacing. It's more being on time. Then just seeing windows open, seeing guys get open versus man, and letting them get open versus man.
What have your impressions been of Traylon so far? I know you haven't seen him as much as maybe some of the other receivers, but what have some of your early impressions been of Traylon?
Bert's real explosive receiver. I'm glad that I finally get a chance to throw to him. Almost connected on a vertical ball today. But he's going to be one of our best targets this year. Not a lot of guys at his size can move like him, can break down like him. So I'm excited. Just hope he stays healthy. But, when he does stay healthy, he'll be one of the best receivers out there.
Is there a play from today or a concept from today that kind of sticks out in your head as the one you're going to be eager to go back and watch on film with reasonable evaluation?
Just the protections, knowing when I need to flip it or not. Just knowing the blitzes that come in hand with it to take some pressure off the running back. Have my line going to it, so I'm able to have a check down.
When you guys grade throws together in the quarterback meeting room, is there usually consensus on whether throws A, B, C, D, whatever?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's ball placement. Can't be behind them. We got to be at least on his chest to get a good enough grade. But we're all just trying to make each other better every day. Brandon and Tim, they've helped me get to this point just with their experience and their past. So I'm excited to, have those guys in the room with me.
What percentage A's do you think you throw?
You said what?
What percentage of your throws are A's, do you think?
Not good enough yet, so we'll see.
What was kind of your reaction to the news that Levis had decided to have surgery and it's kind of subtracted from the quarterback room now?
I really didn't have a reaction. I focused on Cam Ward. He made what was best for him. You can't be mad at somebody for doing what's best for him. So I wish him a speedy recovery. I'm hoping to see him in the building a lot more. He's helped me in OTAs, just learning the install of everything. So he's a good football player. When he's ready, when he's healthy, he'll have his chance to the field.
Calvin is one of your most tenured wide receivers, and he just raves about you. And what is it between you guys, that relationship, maybe just seeing eye to eye, that can make you guys a special duo?
I just think someone who understands me, where I want to put the ball. There's someone who's not fast but slow in his routes, but that man's a gazelle. Like, he doesn't get tired. He's explosive off the ball. It's the reason why he's the top 5 receiver in the league. And me having him for my first year, like, he's gonna get the ball. So is our other receivers. So, I'm excited to have Red by my side. I know he's gonna stick by me.
Cam, you mentioned going from one level to the next here with Cam. Do you feel like a pro right now?
I felt like a pro when I was drafted. I've been waiting on opportunities, so I'm blessed. Not a lot of people, get a chance to do what they love. So every time I wake up, I get a chance to step on the field. I'm excited. Whether it's a good day or a bad day, you just got to take the wins with the losses.
You got a lot of advice since you've been drafted. Anybody in particular give you really good advice here as you start your first season?
Just be yourself. It's no different from college. The only biggest thing is that you got to always know where you're protected from. At the end of the day, it's playing football. Can't overthink it. Don't make it too simple. Just go out there, throw the ball, and make plays.
You mentioned the guys in your room. You mentioned the guys in your room, Cam. Brandon Allen having familiarity with the system. How much has he helped you just so far starting out, maybe with advice, hey, lock out this, that kind of thing?
Just understanding why we're calling this play, why Callahan's calling this play. Even Callahan's told me why he's calling the play, whether it's to get back on track, whether it's just to me get the ball in my hands, get some yards for the receiver. But just him having familiarity with the offense, it's going to help me, especially throughout the season. And just he knows what Callie's thinking because he's played for him. So, I'm excited to have him in the room with me.
How would you describe Jarvis Brownlee's style, and what's it like to throw up against him?
It's good throwing against him. I know every time I go against Jarvis, it's going to be a battle. He's physical. Physicality is who we want to be this year. He's a standpoint of that. And so I'm ready to see him have a big year. I know he's going to get a couple turnovers for us, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
Quick question, Cameron. How about the Louisville Cardinals, baby?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We bust them ass this year, though.
Ken, there's so much hope and belief in this franchise because of you. What do you do to be able to just not allow that to come into affecting what the main thing is, and that's you playing well? Like, how do you manage that?
Phone on D&D, wake up, watch film. I talk to 5 people a day, so besides my teammates, so I only talk to the parents and then that's really it. So I just be chilling, go home, and I don't really do too much, eat and go to sleep. And I think the biggest thing was just, whether you're college or NFL, you just gotta have a routine. I've had a routine for a couple of years now, and it's been helping me since.
Did you say your dog?
Yeah.
What kind of dog? What's his name?
He a Rottweiler. He listen to me.
What's his name?
She asked you that.
Uno.
You spent some time on the fence line, I guess, with fans. What do people say when they interact with you? How do you feel like people have embraced you here?
Just excited, and I'm happy they're excited. I'm excited every time I step on the field, and I know they're gonna be showing our support. Even through the wins or the losses, they're gonna talk crazy about me, but who cares at the end of the day? The biggest thing, what I like doing it for, is for myself and for the kids. Because I was once in a position, that's why just being with them down there at the end, them want to be a professional. I hope they get that opportunity someday.
Cam, you mentioned how locked in you are on your routine, kind of not really seeing all the distractions and whatnot. I guess who or what taught you the emphasis or the importance of that?
I'll say really my dad. He taught me that as soon as I hit college. Whether you play good, they're going to talk about you, or whether you play bad, they're going to talk about you. Mute everybody, honestly, is my biggest thing. If you're not in the building, I really could care less about your opinion of myself or my teammates, and that's just how we're going to end up operating. Because then people in the building are only people who know what we go through day in, day out. And so, just keep it the main thing. And, as we get into, doing joint practices, get into preseason, to season, just trying to put one foot in front of another and try to win a lot of games this year.
What's Brandon been like to work with, and do you think it's important to have a guy who's been around a few years in the league to be in the room with you also?
It's been good. I think another thing I learned from him is just the consistency with his drops, keeping the same. That's something that I have to continue to get better at. And then just seeing his footwork, seeing how he communicates at the line of scrimmage when he needs to, and just seeing how fast he snaps the ball and just don't overthink it, just play football.
Last one. Were you under center at all tonight?
Yeah, I was on the center.
How excited to get North 17 changed the Ken Ward way?
That's a blessing, man. I mean, especially for me to grow up right there in my auntie house, and so that's really where half side of my family's from that street, and so for me to get my name on that street for the mayor and West Columbia to do all that, I'm excited. I'm blessed, and I hope y'all see a lot of more West Columbia kids come to the league soon.
Talked about being a Morgan Wallen fan. Did you see where he came out at his concert in Miami wearing your jersey?
Yeah, one of the operations guys, Baez in Miami, he was at the concert. He called me. I was asleep. He woke me up. I seen it, but that was cool for him to do that.